Now you saw JJ at times, extend plays with his legs, but you didn't really see this new dynamic, right? Man, let me tell you something, and I'm gonna get really hype about this.
All right.
The biggest thing I need JJ to work on, for God's sakes, pull the football. He refuses either from advice in a quarterback's room Monday through Friday to do it. He's been told that, or he's not having the right reads in game. He's not utilizing half of the RPO offense. Like being a true threat with your legs, making the defense respect that. I mean, that's part of the reason why people wanted him to replace Cade, because Cade didn't offer that kind of thing, that kind of element to his game. And I think.
And what happens when they did? Remember the few times when he did pull it?
Explosive. They weren't expecting it, right? Because at that point they're just crashing. The DN or whoever's on the outside was just crashing hard to whatever running back that was taking the handoff, and JJ with his legs was out of there. It's like, no, that's not going to work every time. And there'll be times where you pull it and you make a stop for 1 or 2 yards, but you need to keep the threat there. That's what opens up things, later in the game, right? So that's one of the things I need to see. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I think Kirk Campbell as the new QB's coach, I'm curious to see what he's going to do differently from Matt Weiss to encourage that a little bit more. That's another shift that Harbaugh has made to kind of rearrange things. To get Jim Harbaugh's endorsement as a QB coach, that means something. So I we'll see how that goes next year. But there you did start to see. So I will say, for 9-10 games, Michigan could just run their machine. They could just run their run game. Blake Corum, Heisman, potential candidate. You have Donovan Edwards in there, and they can just break off for touchdowns left and right. But when Blake, and I was actually at the Illinois game in the 10-degree wind chill. I think you guys were there too.
Yes, and I was as well. Man, brutal.
I saw that happen live, and I was like, you know what? There's going to have to be some shifts when we play the Ohio State Buckeyes, because and in fact, that's the first time in that game where we really did see some deep passes and some things happening because they had no choice. Knowles was shutting down the run game, so you had to play like Ryan Day style almost.
Yeah, they were selling out. Yeah, they were selling out, and it was one of those things where it's like, and before I go there, my biggest fear about that moment, John, was because we did not prove that we could do it. Should the time come, which it did, will we be able to flip that switch and complete those passes down the field? Because remember, most of the year, JJ struggled with deep shots, especially with overthrowing guys.
Unless you're Hawaii or unless you're a team like that, he was having trouble.
I mean, I distinctly remember against Maryland, him overshooting guys. And ironically, I think that first touchdown to Cornelius Johnson, he actually kind of undershot it a little bit. And I think that was just part of, I just want to make sure I don't overdo this. He's wide open. They would just get it there. But that's another element where, is that a result of the lack of repetitions in season because they were leaning on that machine too much? Or is that just a flaw that JJ has in terms of being just naturally inaccurate with the football at times? That is something that I'm really interested to see if it plays out very similar his second full year starting.